Hey, what's up? So this is your girl Janae, and let's just get straight into it. So right now I'm just showing you my braid pattern, I guess, but my parts, basically how I parted my hair, and I just wanted to get like enough angles on it just to make sure like you guys can, probably pause the video and just see how many parts I did. I believe it was a total of 16 braids, so I believe it's like 16 boxes or whatever shapes those are. So I was just giving you a close look at them. And I could not film that part because that took the longest for this style. So I would just recommend that you really take your time on your parts, have two mirrors, and really just see what you're doing because it would be really hard to film it, and it already took kind of long for this style. So right now I'm just using my Style and Jam, and I'm putting that all over the perimeter of my part. And I'm using kind of a good bit because with this jam, it does not leave residue. It does not leave my hair white. So I just love using a good bit of this jam just for some hold and to keep my hair in place. So make sure you get this jam. Now I'm going to use my edge booster, and I just use my edge booster for my edges in the front of my hair, the braids that are in the front, just to make a more neater look and more natural. So right now after that I'm just brushing it down with my edge brush, and you want to brush it enough because that will make the gel not appear white. Like if you brush it down enough, brush that gel in, it won't like turn up white if it's brushed good enough. So I'm just making sure that my part is all together, getting some more of that shining jam, putting that like through my hair a little bit, and now I'm gonna start to braid my hair. Now, I braid my hair like pretty weirdly. I don't know if it's my hand coordination, but your girl cannot braid. But I'm just gonna like plait it a little bit halfway down. You don't need to plait it all the way down, and just plait it halfway and just leave it hanging just like that. So I'm just gonna do this once more. Take that shining gel, just take a good bit, as much hold as you can, because you can always wash this gel out, but I love using this jam. Like, you really need to get this with any style, crochet, whatever. Like, this jam really has a nice hold and doesn't leave like a lot of residue. So I'm just brushing in that gel some more, and then after that I'm gonna put my edge booster. Yeah, so I made sure to put a really good bit of edge booster on the front of my hair just to have a more sleek look, like I said before. And now I'm just going to plait my hair down and just plait it halfway, because you don't need to plait it all the way down, because you're going to kind of need that hair that's out right there. And that's that. I figured to do all my parting first and then do that. So now I'm taking my Pump It Up to just keep my hair in place, and this is just like kind of like hairspray, but way more like it makes your hair really stiff. So just to keep my parts in place. Whew, when I tell y'all I was up all night kind of doing this, but I started kind of late anyway, but I'm just letting you guys get a look of how it's going. And now I'm just showing the hair I use. I use the Outre whatever pre-stretched hair, 52 inches, and it was in the color 1B. So right now I'm just taking off that rubber band, and you really want to look at this part. So I broke the hair kind of 1/3 ish. So I didn't take it completely half, but I just took like 1/3 of the hair, and this is the crochet method. I can't plait this into my hair. I don't know how people do that, so I gotta crochet it in. So right now I tried like twisting it a little bit so it can fit through my crochet hook, and at first I'm gonna put my crochet hook through my braid underneath the part, or underneath the braid, and then make sure that lock is open, and then I put the hair in it and try to just push the lock over. It doesn't have to completely latch on. And then now I'm pulling that hair through. And now the key is to have one of the sides of hair pull it through. So half of that hair you'll see right now, it's hard to explain. Pull that through. Make sure you don't pull all the hair through. Just like that. So now what I'm taking another piece, and this one is going to be a tad bit thinner because it's hard to crochet that hair through. So you do not want a lot of hair or it's going to hurt and it's not going to go through your head. You really have to like start off kind of small. Like it's better to have less than too much hair because it's going to hurt and you can't pull all that hair through. So I just got a thinner piece and it was easy to pull it through. And I also pulled one side through as well. So now with my 4 pieces, I'm going to part them into 3. As you can see, I'm just going to part them into 3. And like the thickest piece, I'm going to intertwine with my real hair. So I'm parting into 3. And as you can see, I'm going to put one of the hairs with my real hair. And then I'm going to start my braid. And it's just a regular braid. It's not no secret method or anything. Because y'all can see, look at my hands. Like, they just look weird. I don't look like a braider. But I was able to braid this at least. So make sure when you're plaiting down, you use that shine and jam throughout your fingertips to keep hold of the hair. It has real nice hold, real nice shine. And you also want to make sure to detangle that hair down. You do not want to have this hair all tangled up because it could tangle easily. And you just want to make sure that you keep running your fingers through that hair, making sure it's detangled. So now I'm just braiding it down. As you can see, like the braid isn't perfect, but I feel like it gives it that natural feel, that natural like kind of Pocahontas feel. If it's not like perfect, it really doesn't have to be, just as long as you don't have like really any flyaways. And that shine and jam will definitely help you to not have like barely any flyaways. So at the end, I just take a rubber band and just put it at the end of that hair. Whew. So now I'm gonna take it again. I'm gonna take 1/3 of that hair, and I believe this is still from that one pack. And I'm gonna take some of that hair and crochet it through. Now it was hard to crochet this hair through because sometimes I had too much hair and sometimes it wouldn't all go through the latch. So I had to take some hair off, add some hair. Is to your discretion. So right now the hair can get a little messy, but just as long as you loop it through one side, it will be fine. As you can see, I'm doing. And just hold the other part and just make sure you have like hair on both sides. I know this sounds like confusing, but like once you're doing it, it'll make sense. But you want to make sure you have 2 pieces of hair. So that's the first piece we've looped through, and then you're going to loop in the second piece just to make sure the hair is thick enough. And even if the hair doesn't like click on the latch, you want to try to crochet it in like fast enough. As you can see, I'm trying to add as much hair as I can. As much hair as I can crochet through. And I just make sure the hair is detangled. Please make sure there's no flyaways. Try to brush through the hair, finger through the hair as much as possible so it won't be messy. So as you can see, it's getting a little messy, but as long as I have that loop and I loop one of the sides through, it's fine. But if it gets messy, you just want to start over because if the hair gets tangled, it's not going to braid correctly. So right now I'm going to start my plait, and it really doesn't matter which part you use, which piece of hair you use to intertwine with your real hair. Just put it in one of the parts and start braiding. And make sure you try to like braid as hard as you can. Yeah, and just get all that hair. You do not want it tangled. I think it kept getting tangled because I couldn't braid, but it's okay. And that shine and gem really like gives it a nice luster and just makes it look all neat. So that's really it. The hardest part, I believe, was really like parting and making sure your parts were straight. I know all mine weren't straight, but for the most part, I feel like I did a really good job parting. So I think one of the parts on the top wasn't like all the way straight, but it really doesn't matter. Like, it's a natural look. Ain't nobody gonna be that close, and if they are, then they not abiding by the 6 feet rule. So I'm just putting my rubber band in. And if you want, you can burn the ends. It doesn't matter. But I figured the rubber band. Putting that in. Hurry up, girl. Ugh, it's late. Finally, I'm done. Like, the parting took so long. Like, the parting took me like an hour and a half. Like, it took me so long. Now I'm just using my Pump It Up to keep my hair in place. And we all done, y'all. Yes. So you can just do your little swoop to the loop edges, whatever you want. But this is just our overall look. It was pretty easy, and I hope you enjoyed my video.